clutch challenge that I used to do, and anybody could get out of the Cobra clutch got $5,000.
Yep.
So finally, Pat and I went into the challenge, and Pat just about got out of it, but lo and behold, he didn't. And I saved my $5,000. And it was funny because we showed the check on the television, and people started calling in and said, there ain't enough money in that. I said, wear whatever you want to wear in the ring, no time limit, and there's no referee. I said, no referee. Never been in a match without a referee. So anyway, Ernie Roth was my manager. I called him the General, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, Ernie Roth. So I was walking to the ring.
The bodyguard over there
For the Shaw.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Same thing happened with General Adnan. Adnan L. Casey. He was my manager of an amateur wrestler. He was like a god.
Yeah.
But when Saddam took over, he was getting rid of everybody. He got taken to a town to promote Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
He hated Saddam Hussein, and here his whole family got killed. And what a trooper he was! Oh my gosh!
Now my last question is going to be the Hall of Fame. When you got inducted, King, let's start with you. What year did you get inducted, and who was the person who inducted you into the Hall of Fame?
The year was 2007, and I'll never forget. I got a call from Vince McMahon, which you know something's bad when you get a call from Vince McMahon. It's got to be something wrong. And he just told me, he said, King, we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame this year. And the first words out of my mouth, I went, no. And he said, what do you mean, no? I said, well, no, I'm not ready yet, you know. And because then I told him, I said, King, this doesn't mean that at all. We just want to honor what you've accomplished up till now. You and JR mainly, but about your commentary. This was at a time in 2007. They were doing the part of the show was live on USA Network, maybe the last hour or something like that. I didn't know of anybody. I mean, like one time, who was it? Maybe was it Hulk had
Arnold.
No,
Sylvester Stallone, yeah. So, and you know, naturally that got on TV and everything. Well, I'm thinking, and I mentioned Lance Russell, and they told me that they just didn't feel like Lance was nationally known enough to be involved. I really hated that because I thought he would have been perfect. But so then when they told me it needed somebody nationally known, I just said, I don't know. Do here because I wanted to be on that show, the part of the show that's going to be seen nationwide. So I said, I had a friend out in Hollywood. Matter of fact, just talked to him yesterday, Mike Dacey, and he's an agent. And I called up Mike and I said, can you find somebody that can? I just told him the whole story. I said, I want to get somebody to come to Detroit and induct me into the Hall of Fame that has a big enough name that would make sure that I'd be on our show on USA. That's exactly how it happened. He calls me back 2 days later. He says, what about William Shatner? And I said, are you freaking kidding me? William Shatner, Captain Kirk from Star Trek? He said, yeah. I says, Jerry, I just want to know one thing. I said, what's that? He said, was I your first choice? I said, of course you were my first choice. Without a doubt, this is the greatest thing in my life, right? And so anyway, sure enough, they fly him to, I think it was Detroit.
It was.
Far away is the teleprompter because my eyes are not that great. And I said, we don't have teleprompters. And he just went like this. What do you mean you don't have teleprompters? I said, we don't have teleprompters. They'll write you you told me about it not too long ago when I interviewed him after a space flight. But he said he goes out and they had a piece of paper that if he had to read it, he would literally have to hold it up like this, which he finally did during the induction. He started trying to talk and he's trying to read this and he finally had to pull it closer and closer, and the audience started chanting, you don't know him. And I'm back there, I'm just
Done it in 2004.
I was gonna,
And we were the first class to get the rings. So we all had, that was a pretty cool
See that?
deal. Pat Patterson was the one that inducted me.
Yeah.
So about,
yeah.
and he puts his glasses on and did you know that Bob was in it?
Oh,
And
no.
it was just
I think it did the same thing with
Bobby Heenan, and he just was so bad that Bobby got up and made fun of every speech. It was hilarious.
And he said, Jimmy, we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame. It's 2005. And I said, Mr. Ross, are you sure you're not trying to talk to Bret Hart? And Jimmy, he goes, no, you're the one going in. I thought he was trying to reach Bret. And so it was a thrill for me. And they said, well, who do you want to induct? I said, it's only one person, the King. He's the one that got me into business. I want to make sure he's the one that takes me out. And so that's the way I did it. So it just all went bam, 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 boom, boom. So it was great.
Yeah, side note, I watched WrestleMania 3 on the WWE Network, now Peacock, and I heard from Mary Hart, she thought that you and Brett were related because of the last name.
Right.
Sure.
Right. And then,
A lot of people did.
but you know, everybody did. It was just a funny thing. Same name. You know, then Neidhart was put with us too, and he was part of their family. And Neidhart, Bret Hart, Jimmy Hart. You should see when me, Neidhart, Bret Hart, and Owen Hart stayed at the same hotels.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I don't know. I don't even drink or do drugs or nothing. Not that they did either, but they might have drank a little bit, but no drugs. But all of a sudden, I'd get these $50 or $60 bills on my room. I go, what the heck was this right here? I don't even.
That had to
I
be
didn't
Owen.
even-
That
yeah,
had to
right.
be Owen Hart.
It was. I didn't even eat in the restaurant last night. And all of a sudden, I got all this bill, and so it was crazy back then. But it was a great time. Think about it. Where could you walk into a dressing room, and over to my right, you got Sergeant Slaughter over there getting ready. You got the honky tonk man tuning the guitar. You got Jake the Snake Roberts with Damien. You got the British Bulldogs feeding Matilda. You got Hulk over there cutting one of his shirts up that he's going to rip off that night. Andre the Giant playing cards with Arnold Skolin. You got the King over there looking for his crown everywhere. Going, where did I put my crown? I mean, this was our office 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. I mean, it was just unbelievable. The names, the biggest names from the territories and everything. And it was just so great when you look back on it. So I wouldn't trade anything for that for the world.
To back their work together because they worked so well off of each other.
Well, Bobby Heenan, though,
He was good
he was good.
with Gorilla, but
And you know who was good too was Vince. Vince was
Oh,
doing this stuff too. I
that's-
thought he was
that's
around
a
back in the day.
team.
Yeah, of back in the day, we would go into the studio and we'd do the green screen opening, and it would look like the crowd behind us. But
Was the blooper tape?
no, this one wasn't. But yeah, I've seen those two. This was just me and not me and Gene. It was me and Gorilla. And I swear, I don't even remember working with Gorilla.
But I was talking earlier about how we used to do promos in hotels and wherever we could do them because we had so many to do. And one night, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're at a hotel, and we're all like, wishing we could get this thing over with. And I came up with the idea. I said to everybody who was there, I'm not sure if Jerry was there, he'll remember if he was. I said, how about $20? Everybody put $20 in the pot, and whoever can make Gene crack up gets the money. And they all said, okay, let's do it. So if you ever can find that, I think it's going around, but there's a blooper tape of myself, Kamala. I'm not sure if Jerry.
No, I was not in on
You
that.
weren't in on it? Kamala started speaking English.
I saw it.
Gene is like, oh my God, he speaks English like that.
But it didn't crack up on that one?
Yeah, he didn't break up. He kind of chuckled a little bit, but mine, I actually won the money because I said I'm going to say everything wrong, and he was like, listen to me. The whole role of all of us to do those promos.
Well, guys, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules